Good morning. This is Nick from I'mWinningAtLife.com. I hope that you've had a wonderful week and that things are going really well for you. So today I want to talk with you a little bit about how you spend your free time and what you can do with your free time, because it's a problem for people a lot of times. People tend to say that they don't have the time. They don't have the resources they need. They don't have the time. And time is a resource like anything else, right? Everybody gets the same amount of time, okay? You only get 24 hours. That's all there is in a day. And you only get 7 days a week, right? That's it. That's all you can have. You don't get any more. And you know, when your time's up, your time's up. That's it. So what I want you to think about today is how you're using your time, right? What do you do with your time? Do you plan your day out? Do you take some time in the morning to plan your day out? Do you have routines and schedules that you use? And are they useful to you? Does it even do anything for you? Right? Are you trying to get ahead in life and maybe obtain a goal, but when you stop and think about it, are you actually working towards that goal? Are you putting in the time and the effort to get to that goal, right? Or do you find yourself wasting time a lot, like all the time? Because I know a lot of people that do it, right? When I talk with people, I find that a lot of people end up spending time, watching TV, or they just waste away time, right? And that's fine if you want to do that here and there, but you got to understand that if you don't put in the work in the time you have, somebody else is, right? Somebody else is doing that. So, perfect example. Today is Friday morning. It's my day off, okay, from my regular job, my 9-to-5 job, right? And I am putting all my time into this, right? This is where I put my time. I put my time into my online business and creating content, and then I'll put time into reading, right? As opposed to watching TV and doing other things. So I understand if you're gonna watch TV, okay, I get it. It's a real easy pastime for people, and that's great. But I'm gonna ask you a question, because in my opinion, you kind of waste a lot of time watching TV. What purpose does it serve you, right? So you watch the news, and that's great. It keeps you up on current events or whatever's going on in the world, and that's great. But it's always negative too, and I'm not a big fan of that one, right? This is why I don't watch a lot of news. I watch certain things, but I read a lot. Okay, I can tell you this much: I don't even have a TV. Okay, I actually have a TV in my house, but I don't watch TV. I don't have DirecTV or whatever, any of the AT&T Uverse or any of that garbage. Like I have internet, but I don't have TV. Like I don't pay for TV. One, it saves me money, but what I found before in my life is that I spend a lot of time watching TV. Right? It's really easy to come home and just be like, let me sit for 5 minutes and just relax, right? And I'll watch some TV. And so you watch some TV, and then next thing you know, it's 3 hours later, and you've wasted the whole night, right? You've wasted the time off that you have, right, before you go to work. And then I'm going to ask you, could you use that time in a better way? Could you use that time to learn something, or to grow, or to get better at something, or to read, to do anything, right? I mean, you say you don't have the time, and I hear it all the time out of people, right? And I say, it's not that you don't have the time, it's that you don't use it wisely, right? You're wasting your time. So for me, I can tell you when I was younger, I was not a morning person, and I could easily sleep in till 11 o'clock. Now I was a really hard worker. And I will tell you, I used to go to a day job, and then I would come home and deal with my family and all that, and then I would go do more work at night, So I would work a crazy amount, but I wasn't spending my time learning and studying and doing stuff. I was busy hustling, which is fine. I mean that totally works too, because when you hustle and you grind it out, you tend to reap the rewards. But at the same time, my little bit of free time that I had, I could easily waste it on 2 hours on a movie or something. And I'm not going to tell you I don't, because sometimes I will sit there and I might watch a movie or something, because you gotta have some time to just chill. You know what I mean? And that's cool. But I want you to get in the habit of looking at where you want to go. Okay, what do you want out of your life? And then I want you to look at what time do you have, right? Because we're talking about time. So what time do you have, right? Whatever you're doing in your life, what time do you have? Okay? Get a pen and paper and write it down. Write down your schedule. Make yourself a schedule every day. Okay? And do it just as you go through. Do it every day for a week or two. And then, for everything you do, right? I get up, I spend 15 minutes making myself breakfast, and then I eat breakfast for whatever it is, right? I eat breakfast for 15 minutes because I just eat breakfast and move. Or I eat breakfast for an hour and a half because I'm watching TV, right? And then I go do this, I go do that. So map it out as tightly as you can. And then look at it after a couple weeks and see where you spend your time, okay? And then see if you're doing things that waste your time, right? Are you doing things that waste your time completely? Are you doing things that are productive for you, right? And then find something, if you want to get ahead, find out whatever it is you want to obtain, and then what it's going to take to get there, okay? And then start cutting out things that you do that don't serve you. Okay? Cut it out. Just remove it, And you can start by removing one 30-minute thing a day. So some of the things that I do, right? I get a 30-minute lunch at my work. That's what we get. That's what we do. So I take that 30 minutes, and provided I'm not, interrupted with something, which actually happens, quite a bit, I make it a point to read. Like, I eat and read at the same time, because I know that reading, is gaining knowledge, and that's important. So I want to make sure that I read a minimum of 30 minutes every day, like minimum, and that's a bare minimum, right? And that's a great time to get that in. It's a great time, right? You think you don't have the time, but when you really look at it, you realize that you do have the time. It seems like you don't, but you really do. So take that time, and then realize, as you look at it, I think you're going to find that probably for the majority of people, TV is a huge one, right? It's a huge one. People spend, hours and hours looking at TV, right? And then think about that. Let's say you spend an hour a day watching TV, right? That's 7 hours a week that you could be productive, right? So you go to your job, and you make whatever you make. Let's say you make $20 an hour, okay? Let's say you make $50 an hour, whatever it's gonna be. If you had another almost full day of pay at your rate, what would it be worth to you? So then I'm gonna ask you, are you using your time wisely? Does it serve you? I don't know. Maybe to you it serves you, but why not take one day a week and cut it down to 30 minutes, or 2 days a week, or every day, right? Or take one full day out and say, every Wednesday I'm not gonna watch TV. I'm just gonna read a book, right? Or I'm gonna pursue my passion. I'm gonna do some schooling, whatever it is, right? And so you'll find that as you put your efforts into things that interest you and where you want to go, you'll find that you will slowly reap the rewards of it. So it's important to recognize where you spend your time, because if you have, if you spend your time wasting away and not doing things productive, then how are you going to get to your goals? How are you going to get there? How are you going to get to where you want to go? We have these lofty ambitions a lot of times, especially when we're young, right? But we get distracted, okay? I do it too sometimes, you know what I mean? You get distracted on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And it's easy. It's easy just to slip away for a little bit. For me, I can tell you, because I don't have TV, it actually makes it much more difficult, right? this is why I had TV for quite some time, and I would spend time, and I found that it was easier sometimes just to be like, man, I'll read in a little bit. You know what I mean? Oh, I'll go write in a little bit. I'll go work on my site in a little bit, and then next thing you know, bam, the time's gone. So I had stopped watching TV for a while, and I'd cut my TV time down to an absolute bare minimum. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, I'm still paying for this thing, and it's too easy to slip away. It's too easy to take the simple path, right? To not do the work. It's just too easy. So I thought to myself, like, you know what? Forget this. I'm getting rid of it, like, completely. Because when it's gone completely, you don't have a choice. Now you have to fill the time with something else because it's not there, right? So it forces the hand. Think about it for a minute, right? So now I'm at home, and what do? I put all my energy and effort into this. So I go to work, right? I come home and I deal with my family and my loved ones and the people I care about, and I spend my time doing more work. And you think to yourself, okay, well, that's crazy. It's a crazy amount of work. Well, it is, but I guarantee you there's somebody that's probably already outworking me too. And they're farther ahead than I am because they're outworking me, right? And they're putting in more time and more effort. But I can also tell you this much. I know that if I use my time wisely and I do the things that benefit me and that are going to get me to where I want to go, I know that eventually I'll reap the rewards that I want, right? And all that I want is to help people. That's what I'm after. That's the ultimate goal for me. Help a lot of people, right? I want to be able to use the resources that are in front of me to help even more people. The more resources I gain, the more people I can help, right? That's what I'm after. So I know that I can waste away my time and it's not beneficial to me, or I can actually get up and do something, right? So as I look at some of the people that are doing really well in life, you'll find, and I found, that they get up super early in the morning. And I already mentioned this once. I used to get up like 11 o'clock, right? 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, especially on the weekends. But during the week, for sure, man, I was up by 5 a.m. every day, moving because I had to be for my work, right? And working like crazy. But at the same time, weekends would come and I'd be up at 11 and because I was tired, but I no longer do that. I pretty much always get up at about 4, maybe 4:30, right? Occasionally now on the weekends I might get up at like 5:30, but that's it. Like it's like never past 5:30. It just doesn't happen, I may chill in bed for a few minutes, but I don't wake up pretty much any time past 5:30 anymore. And I found that another perfect example, right? If I get up at 4 a.m., I can get up, right? I can go take myself on a 30-minute walk and get in some exercise, or I can lift my weights and work out, and then I can sit here and I can edit and I can write and I can record, and I can get all this done before anybody else is even moving, right? Before people have accomplished anything. I've already accomplished 5 or 6 things, and everybody else is just starting the day. And now I'm ahead of you, right? So I'm on the back end, right? I'm on the cruise control end of things, to where my day is planned out and scheduled, and I know what's coming, and I've already accomplished a whole bunch of goals, so I'm already ready to run at it because I've used my time wisely. And I can tell you, right? It took me a long time to understand this. It took me a long time to understand that if I changed how I used my time, I could get farther ahead, right? I could do more. And it's true for anybody. So look at the time you have, look at how you spend it, look at where you waste time, and look at what it's doing for you. What are you doing? What are you wasting your time on? And do you want to waste your time there, right? And where do you want to go? Where do you want to go in your life? And recognize that you have the time to do it, right? You have the time. You just have to make it. And it's something you hear people say here, no, you got to make time. Well, it's true. It's totally true because everybody has the same amount of time. It's a matter of where you put your time and where you put your efforts into what amount of time. So like I said, write it down, get yourself out a schedule, write down what you're doing right now, and then look at it, and then start small, okay? Write out, I want to spend 30 minutes a day reading. I want to spend 30 minutes a day doing this. I want to spend a minimum of 30 minutes a day walking, and then figure out when you're going to do it, right? And you do that, right? You do, let's say you want to start off small, right? I really want to read, right? I want to read and learn something about whatever I'm really interested in, okay? Block out the time, right, in your planner, block it out, 30 minutes a day, and then look at where you're going to put that time, right? Where am I going to put that activity on my timeline, okay? And then you go and you do it every day, and you just do it over and over and over and over, and after about a month, maybe 2 months, it becomes habit to you. It's just something you do, and 99% of the time you're going to do it, right? You're just going to do it because it becomes normal to you, right? Oh, I spend every 30 minutes at lunchtime reading. That's just what I do, right? And it works out, right? And then you add another one in there, right? So I'm gonna remove 30 minutes of TV every day. And after a month or two, it's hard, it takes discipline, but after a month or two, you're done with it. Like it becomes normal to you. You're no longer spending 2 hours, you're now spending an hour and a half, right? But then fill that time, that extra half hour, with something beneficial. And then go and do it again, right? Take the next thing. And then you'll figure out where you want to spend your time to get yourself to where you want to go. And you'll find that you'll have to cut out things that don't serve you, okay? And if it doesn't serve you, why in the hell are you doing it? What purpose does it serve? What does it do for you? If it's not helping you get to where you want to go, then why are you doing it? So just stop, you know what I mean? You have to be able to master the time, and you can. It just takes small steps over time. So think about it this week. I'm glad that I got to talk to you, and have a great week.